Hello, Zealous Talon here. I just did the Blasphemy Challenge, and now I have more thoughts in my head that I want to put out there before I forget them. Which I won't be surprised if that happens within the next 5 or 10 minutes, considering I have the attention span of a baby goldfish. What I want to talk about is there are a lot of arguments that the theists, especially those of what I call the big three: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. More Christianity and Islam, I've noticed, than Judaism. Some arguments they make against atheism, or arguments they make for their religion, aside from the argument of it's in this book, because, quite honestly, that's not much of an argument. It's so ridiculous. It's not worth wasting time going over that. It's, it's just not worth the time. Just some things that I've noticed that are worth addressing. One of the arguments that you'll hear a lot is, how can you have any sort of moral guidance without a God? Well, quite frankly, you really don't need God for moral guidance. In fact, if you're looking to one of the holy books for moral guidance, then quite honestly, the world, as chaotic as the world is, it could be a whole lot worse, considering all the, religious stuff going on. How much people look to those books for moral guidance. There could be a lot more mass murder going on. The morality comes from analyzing what people need. It comes from a will for everybody to be as happy as possible. There's no way to make everybody happy all the time. And quite frankly, if you were happy all the time, you wouldn't even be able to define happiness. Happiness is only defined in its opposition to sorrow, from my point of view anyway. Just by, having a goodwill towards people, just by understanding that everybody has the same basic wants and needs, for, essentially life, liberty, and, the pursuit of happiness, that's all you really need for a moral basis, From there, you can justify that slavery is wrong. You can justify that murder is wrong, that rape is wrong. You don't need, some mythical stone tablets with 10 almighty rules inscribed in them to have any sort of moral base. Another one I see a lot is that God gives purpose. And I won't deny that. God does give purpose to some people, but the thing that bothers me is when people only get their purpose through God. To me, that's rather sad, that you have to essentially make up a fairy tale to have any meaning in your life, when there's so much in this world that you can gain meaning from, that you can live for. If you're a parent, I'm sure your children give you something to live for, trying to raise them well and see them to a happy future. I'm sure that those of you who are in relationships, I'm sure that, your significant other gives you some sort of meaning in your life. When was it not enough to simply live just to appreciate what you can find in this world, what you can experience, you know. I just have some sort of issue with that, you know. It's as if to say that, you know, the world, it's almost to say that the world is insignificant when it's so far from that. I just, wow. One that I don't hear so much, but I feel is worth attention, is that I've heard before that there's sometimes an attitude that atheists or scientists are arrogant for believing that they can, you know, answer everything. And really, that's a very misplaced thing to say, because atheists and scientists, well, not only are they usually hand in hand, we don't claim that we know everything. We acknowledge that we don't. The real arrogant people are the religious, who come up with their, you know, their make-believe, their definition. They say we don't understand everything, so it must be God. Well, okay, so because you don't understand this, you're going to make up a definition without any sort of evidence, without any sort of proof, without any sort of method or attempt to understand the natural processes. To me, I mean, that's hubris. Completely. To me, that's to say that this is how it is because humans say so. Whereas science says this is how it is because it says so. Nature is what it is because it is what it is. Whereas to say, you know, religion says this is what it is because God says so, because we say so. And we say so because God says so. And right there you get into the circular logic, or illogic, as it were. What else was I going to touch on? I had something else, but there goes that goldfish attention span. Right. Well, it's actually hitting the 8-minute mark, and I only touched on 3 points. You know, just goes to show that I'm a rather slow talker and scatterbrained. I don't think I've said as much as I could have, but this is only my second video, and quite honestly, I'm shy. I'm amazed I even said one word at all. So, with that, I'll just conclude this one, and then, well, my next videos, I guess I'll just go and use this last bit of time to say what I'm hoping to do on YouTube. Not only am I hoping to put, you know, sort of perspective videos, you know, with as far as concerning atheism, or really just my point of view on whatever I damn well please, and also hoping to maybe do some product reviews, you know, maybe some Transformer reviews. You know, one of my subscriptions is to Biker Trash, and you know, I'm pretty inspired by you know, those videos. I think he does a great job. So I was hoping, you know, I'd probably do some Transformer reviews, maybe, you know, if I ever get around to it. Probably more of the movie figures, Beast Wars. I don't see many reviews for those around. Also, you know, do some video game reviews, maybe. Yeah, pretty much just whatever I feel like doing. Feel free to, if you ever want me to touch on anything, you know, feel free to comment or PM me, you know, request something. I can't promise that I'll do it, but I'll certainly give it a think. And with about 10 seconds left and any further ado, peace, good night, and all goodwill to you all.